Hello and welcome back to the Wizard's Arena, my fellow Planeswalkers. Today we're doing Tech Your Deck, Season 1, Episode 7, Enemy Colors. Now please note again that normally we do budget and then expensive versions of a card doing the same thing. But with the allied colors and also the enemy colors, it's a little harder. So first up we have D-Spark. This is a great removal spell for white and black. It clocks in at 35 cents and about 20% of decks run it. It's a little higher than most of my obscure cards because most people know what good removals are for their colors. So, this is a cheap uncommon version, and exiles are permanent with CMC 4 greater. And in Commander, that's a lot of the stuff because people tend to want to run really high cost stuff. Next up, we have Anguish Sunmaken. This exiles target non-land permanent, and I lose 3 life. It costs 1 more mana, hits anything but a land. It's running 29%, which is about the same. It's a little more, but it's pretty prevalent. And it's not quite $8 at $7.82. I remember when this was in standard and it was like $1. The problem nowadays is cards come out, they have a high value, and then they go down, and then their prices spike back up because Commander is now the format to play. So you can't wait for standard cards to rotate and then scoop them up. It's just not the case anymore. So you just have to be a little more. You just have to watch cards a little more carefully. Like a good example is the Great Tree from Throne of Eldraine. Came out, it was like 12 or something. But because Oko was a thing, it went down to like 6 or 7. Now it's all the way up to 50. So there's a period of time you could have grabbed it for like $10, but not no more. So you just gotta watch prices real carefully. And once somebody starts seeing the cards good in Commander, it's gonna shoot up everywhere. So next up we got Expansion Explosion. Gotta tilt your head a little sideways for this puppy. $2.50. It's about 8% of decks. It serves 2 things. It lets you copy a cheapish spell and make obviously another copy with new targets, and then it also lets you do damage. You've got a lot of mana and draw X cards. So it serves 2 functions. The closest thing I could find is this next card, 1,000-Year Storm. Now this is run in about 8% of decks, but this is a very specific Spellslinger deck card. You wouldn't find outside of these Spellslinger decks. You'll see something similar when we get to artifacts, that the percentages are really low because they can get thrown in everything. So to maximize them, it's just with allied colors, enemy colors, and artifacts, the percentages are really off because not all red-blue decks would run this. Not all Mormir decks would run this, especially if you're playing like elementals. Why would you play this thing? So to say that it's such a high number, actually I feel 8% is really high considering, because only Spellslinger decks would run this. Next up, we have our first black-green card. Windgrace's Judgment. Comes in about $2.50 and it's about 6% of decks. Most people sleep on this one in the sense that for 5 mana, you get to destroy a target non-land permanent for each opponent. So if you got 3 opponents, you get to blow up 3 of their things. For 5 mana, that's really good. All stapled together on one card. Most removal spells are 2 mana or 3 mana, so for 5, considering you get a lot of them, it's pretty good. But the best removal for black and green is this next card. This thing was bonkers when they previewed it. Currently settling at $11. A lot of you know about its existence because 25% decks run it. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. You destroy a permanent, they get a basic land card. So you can get rid of non-basic lands like Cradle that are bothering you, Maze of Ith, creatures, planeswalkers, like the list just goes on and on and on. It's just crazy. So no big shock here that this is, if you're talking removal, this is the best black-green one there is. Golgari Hearts this card. Next up we have red-white. Boros Battle Shaper. Now, this one, Boros gave me the toughest time. He's 18 cents, 0% of decks. He, of course, manipulates combat. You get to force somebody to attack or block each combat. And that's 7 mana for a 5/5 Minotaur Soldier. That's pretty cool. Now, the closest thing we came to that was Master Warcraft, which is 34%, and it's in 2% of all decks. You can only cast it before attacks are declared. Whoops, sorry folks. And that is any turn, you know, your opponent's turn, your turn. You choose which creatures attack this turn and which creatures block. So, where the previous guy was one creature, this guy does it to all the stuff, but it's an instant and it's a one-shot. So it's okay. Also, I would like them to make it so either it's mono red, mono white, or red white only, like it currently is, and have extort be black white decks only. Like, can we have consistent in the rules department? I like consistency. At any rate, so I like this card a lot. I have it in one of my Boros decks. I used to run him in 2 of my Boros decks, but now he's in 1, I believe. They both have similar effects. Rearranging combat is one of the few things Boros has going for it, along with equipments and auras now, which is what they're pushing. Next up, we have Simic. And we start off with Bring to Light. Oh baby. Now this is 55 cents and it's in 3% of decks. Unfortunately, with Bring to Light, you get a creature, instant, or sorcery card with CMC less than equal number of colors you use to spend it to cast it. And then you can play it without paying its mana cost. So the issue with this is like, that you can pay, if it's in a 4-color deck, 4 different manas, get a 4 costing. So it's really not, it's a weird tutor in the sense you get to put it on the battlefield, but at most you can get a 5 costing, so it's not the greatest. This was another card I kind of struggled with, because I knew the expensive version most people knew of, which was Mormir. He is a bonkers commander. He's gone down in price since they've made more crazy Simic commanders, but his ability is still really good. He's only in 1% of decks. He's about $2. Whenever you play a green creature spell, search your library for a creature card, reveal it. If you do, shuffle your deck and put it on top. whenever you play a blue creature spell, reveal the top card of your library if it's a creature card, put into hand. So obviously you would stack this deck with lots of gold, green, blue creatures, and you get to do both effects. Oh, I tutor, set up on top, second paragraph kicks in, I draw it. So you always get the creature you need for the situation you need. So like if you need Trigon Predator to blow up artifacts and enchantments, you got it. And lastly, we have a bonus card this week. Soaring Grim Nemesis is again a 6-cost planeswalker that I feel is not used enough. He clocks in about 550, only 4% of decks run him. You can +1 him to show off the top card of your deck and put that card in your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to its CMC. So he's sort of like Bob, except your opponents lose life equal to CMC, not you. So you can flip things that cost like 6 or 7, and it's great. Minus X, he does X damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life. So with him starting with 6 loyalty, you can nuke a big thing. And if you somehow get to -9, which I don't really care about ultimates when you're evaluating planeswalkers, you can make a bunch of vampire knight creatures with lifelink equal to your highest life total among players, which is sick. Now, that's the end of episode 7, guys. And here's the thing. Going forward, I figured it out. We are going to do an episode Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's going to be 3 episodes in a season. And we missed Monday's episode this week because of the holiday. My wife was off. She wanted my time. Couldn't get out of it. So what we're going to do is this week it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then next week we'll start season 2. 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That will be our schedule. I'll have links below to my decks. And starting with season 2, we're going to do lots of commons and uncommons that should get played more and stuff like that. But it will just be commons and uncommons. It won't be cheaper card, upgrade card. It will just be commons and uncommons to help make your deck better that you might not have heard about, might not get enough play. So at any rate, I'll see you guys in the next video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. My name's been Draymore with the Wizards Arena. Have yourself a great day.